out of Port Window. Ready to roll? Did somebody come in the door?
Me.
No, I mean behind you. Okay. All right, call to order, 7:30, 25th. Please stand for the pledge and devotion. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Lord, we asked you guys tonight to the best decisions to affect the residents of Osnaburg Township, and we ask that you send everybody in Osnaburg Township a happy Thanksgiving. Amen. Any changes to the agenda?
Under Old Township, stick Succo's Park in there again.
I'm gonna do an executive session at the end, won't take very long, on 17th Street. And then no action needed.
Okay. I've got something for the road and update on the siren for the fire.
The tornado?
Yeah, not much of an update, but I'll tell you what the mayor said. So,
All right. Brian, anything?
I don't have anything to add.
All right, let's move to the minutes, 11/12/2024.
Trustee Griffith moves to approve the minutes as presented.
Trustee Varian, second.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Next, we move to the treasurer's report.
Trustee Varian moves to accept the treasurer's report as presented.
Trustee Griffith, seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed? No public speak, we'll move to fire.
Two things have come up since I turned in the minutes. One, the compressor is once again broken. The weld is broken on it. They came in Sunday and it smelled like something was burning. So the actual motor has once again where it's been fixed the compressor. So at some point we need to figure out what we want to do long term. I think we've now fixed it 3 or 4 times. So,
Okay. So currently not working. Is it unplugged or turned off?
Yep.
All right.
Needs gussets.
Do we want to buy a compressor or fix what? Try to go again. We want
Let's
to.
fix it. I'll talk to you after.
All right. We'll try to get on that
We can
right
do it
away. So we
tomorrow.
have air. Yeah. Okay. I have some time tomorrow. I can go up there. All right. We'll check into that right away because you need air to air your trucks up.
We'll have, yeah, as long as there's nothing internal, I'll run tomorrow. Better than what it was. What do you got on the siren?
Do you have something else? You said 2 things?
Yeah, so the other thing is JMac has I don't know if they have the hubcap or the parts to fix the hubcap. We had sent when the truck went in the ditch, the hubcap was off when they did the alignment. They weren't able to put the hubcap back on. So the hubcap went with the truck over to JMac. They said they needed to order a piece to put the hubcap back on. I don't know if they ordered an entire new hubcap. Their total for what they have currently sitting there is $960. But at this point, that insurance claim has been closed out, correct?
Yes.
So I guess I need to check with them and see. They should not have ordered an entire new hubcap unless the one that came off the truck was not able to be replaced on there. Bruce from JMac said he had called and left a message calling to ask about stuff here. Did you get that message, Brian? Do you know?
No, nothing.
Okay, I talked to him today. He said he had left a message here at the township. So I guess I need to find out. It's clearly not just a piece for that amount of money. So I don't know if they had to order an entire new hubcap. So at some point we'll need to decide if we're going to put that on or what we want to do. So $960 is the total plus putting it back on the truck. Obviously we've said that insurance claim is closed out, so we cannot put that back on there. So we'll need to decide what we want to do. I just need to let him know.
It's a hell of a hubcap.
I can't think there's any possible way that they just ordered a piece, which is what they initially
Yeah.
told me was, is that they needed a piece to be able to put it back on. So
I think we look into it further before we approve 960, just to make sure that we're.
I mean,
I'm
can
fine
you use
with
it? I
No.
mean, you can use the ambulance.
Oh, yeah, the fire,
it's the
yeah.
fire truck.
The fire truck's still
It
in
just doesn't
service.
have the hubcap.
It just has one rim and 3 hubcaps. It works.
Correct.
I
It's
didn't know
certainly.
you can't drive it.
No, it's working
No,
good.
no, no.
It's going out
It's
at least.
just,
Just to be nice to have it put back together.
That was 249, right? Or
241.
241.
Amy, what does it mean when it says lockout? Does that just mean they're locked?
Vehicle, yeah, that one specifically, a kid was in the car.
Oh,
Okay.
I think it was a 2-year-old,
oh,
and
geez.
they,
I hadn't seen that for a long time.
we do it usually only if there's a reason. Like, there's a kid in the car, there's an animal in the car. One time someone's car was smelling and there was a candle burning in their car, and then they
Okay.
locked their keys in the car.
Okay.
So I seen 2 on here, so they.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, we'll do them usually if they call,
Yeah.
but they basically sign off paperwork that says we're not liable if we do damage. So
To
we
the
have
car.
them sign that, first in case we have to break a window or something.
Yeah.
They sign paperwork
Scratch the paint.
and then we do it.
Okay.
Yeah,
What
no,
about the mattress on fire? When somebody set it or something?
Yeah. It was in the road.
It's in the road.
Yep.
Okay.
Did you see it at the corner of their closet?
Is,
I think
is
they're-
this,
Yeah.
is the structure fire the one in Louisville? Or is that actual on our Johns?
Oh, no, there was a fire on John's. There
Oh,
was a
was
there?
neighbor to the house that's now gone. Yes, we saved the house. There was a crack in the chimney from when when we took out the drywall and the mirror over top of the mantle, we took out the drywall and the studs behind the wall were burned. There was a crack in the chimney that someone had tried to fix and it had failed. And so they had a fire and it came through and it was burning in the wall.
Oh, gosh.
But
This
it
is the
was-
house directly behind the little brick bungalow sits on John's.
Oh,
Still there.
Wow. Good. That was, yeah, Hannah lived in that house for a lot of years. Shaki and Danny Petra owned that and they sold it recently. But,
Yep.
wow. Okay.
But Louisville actually had several fires and we were over at several of them. You'll
Yeah.
see
well, I
on
knew you
there.
guys were on the structure over
Yeah,
there,
the-
barn fire.
They did. They had a barn fire. They had, I believe, a garage, and then
Yeah.
I think one of the times we got canceled.
Okay.
Was the mattress on fire in the house or outside?
No, it was in the road. It was at the
I just
corner
wondered,
of.
Was there anybody on it?
Nope. It in fact was pretty well done by the time we got there. I can't believe you didn't. It's a mess on the road. It's at the corner of Broadway and Georgetown and Effinger or Georgetown and Clock. Can you see it?
Well,
It's a mess.
No,
It's just a big melted
Just
mess.
a big mountain, man.
we'll go out and look at it.
We shoveled as much of it as we could off the road, but
Okay. Anything else? I've got one more thing. Not that this is, we didn't solve a whole lot of problems here, but the question was, who is in charge of updating the tornado siren in East Canton at the fire department? So I sent a message to the mayor and sent him the Staley invoice for the repair. He said he was going to check and get back to me. the following day, he sent a message and said, "Hi, I spoke to Kurt today. He informed me that the agreement was that the township bought and maintained the siren and the village would pay the electric."
I got some, that, the siren came off a grant.
Okay.
And originally, they wanted to do, the one that wanted to do the grant wanted to put them all over the township. And the other two trustees at the time were like, yeah, how are we gonna maintain this down the road? So they only did the one up there.
Okay.
And it was brought up back then, and who's gonna maintain this, because it doesn't really benefit the township. So we're to that point now.
Okay. So it says the village would pay the electric. Do we have is there a separate meter on that pole?
There must be.
Because I would think it would just be tied into the building.
We don't have anything separated.
I
out
can't
now.
think it costs anything if it's not going off. There's
Yeah.
no light, there's
I mean,
no.
Well,
There's nothing
they
there.
have a minimum charge, but I think it's maybe like $20.
So it says, does the township have anything to document to the contrary? And I said, thanks for doing the research.
I would have to research it.
Let me look into it. I didn't respond to him other than let's talk about it. But their opinion is township bought and maintains, village pays electric, is what Kurt informed David Spencer, mayor. So that's where we are.
But I don't see any reason for us to maintain. He
Yeah.
doesn't do anything for us.
Right. Well, let's look a little further into it. Is that something, Brian, that we can look up in our minutes, or would that take a long
It'll
time?
take some
Digging.
digging, but we can look up, if we know what year this all happened originally, we can go through the, there's a cover sheet on every minute.
Yeah, that's why I talked.
There's a cover
Glenn
sheet.
Ellington is the one you went after.
Yeah, there's a cover sheet
So-
on every minutes, every
Okay.
year.
Okay.
And it has like the 200 resolutions for that
And,
year.
you can,
You can go right down
Oh,
through,
cool.
but you have to know what year to start. So if it was
Okay.
something that was a grant that was approved a year before, you might have to look in the year before, and that year, it isn't that hard to look at, but it's, you just need to figure out what year it was.
Probably somewhere
Well-
between 12 and 16 years.
and whether we find it or not, if we decide in this committee that we're not going to pay $5,397 to upgrade it, we're going to need to maybe I can go and sit before the council in East Canton and just say, hey, this is where we are. We can do that too.
Well, and there's nothing stopping them if they wanted to pick it up.
Yeah. Okay. I'd like to do a little research on the electric. I think that's interesting. It must have its own meter.
I
Because if
don't
they're
think-
saying they're paying for the
I don't
electric,
think it does.
Well, a question to them would be, what does it monthly cost you?
I'm sure it's,
Because it should be on its own meter then.
yeah. Okay. We'll look into that more, but I wanted to update everybody on talking to the mayor on that. So, thanks. Any more word on the ambulance? Nothing new?
Yeah, I talked to Derek today. He said it was supposed to be done today.
Cool.
But he said it doesn't seem like that's gonna be the case. So he was supposed to get back to me with the date, but it was supposed to be finished today.
Getting to the end. It's great. Awesome.
Well, we got,
Has Louisville needed any more ambulances, or has it been returned in okay?
It is back. While it was still gone, we managed to have a day where we had not only a second, but a third call.
Oh, geez.
So
How many, just curious, because I don't care, I'm glad we could help. How many days did they have it?
a little less than 2 weeks.
Okay. And they ran it while they had it? Because they were waiting for theirs? Okay. All right.
Do we anticipate the ambulance being completed yet here in December, before the end of the year?
No, it better be.
Yeah, because they gave you a November date, didn't they? Yeah. 25th, yeah. Okay. All right. Great. Thank you. We need to, before we leave, we got to talk compressor.
yeah. We'll figure it
Do we
tomorrow.
want to put a motion in place to buy one if we can't fix it? Or are we going to be stuck at a 2-week turn if we can't fix it tomorrow?
No, well, worst case, we could,
Borrow one.
I'll have a motor or something with that one. If we
All
can't
right.
get that one,
All right,
I'll
we'll-
have something.
We'll get air.
I'll
We'll
make
get air
it,
going.
we'll make it run.
All right. Sounds good. Okay. Anything else?
We got Stark Tusk Wayne Joint Recycling District is looking, they want to get a grant to put a possible concrete pad around the recycling bins. It isn't gonna cost us anything. You have a paper in there, but don't have specifics yet. They just wanted to know if there was any objections. The only objection I had is, why didn't they say something about this last year?
Yeah. asked them.
We just put a lot of money into that.
That's
We
what I
just
can.
asked them and they said no.
Yeah, that's what I said. I said, I think this is the guy I talked to. I'm like, why didn't you say something last year?
The first line of the.
We could have held off a year on the parking
Right.
lot if we
Didn't
didn't
we
know.
put like 27,000?
I thought we like specifically asked them if they would do it and they said no.
They
Yeah.
paid
They paid.
27,000.
They
I think,
paid a
for the
chunk
chip
of
and
it,
seal and everything. We didn't have that much, but
Yeah.
they put 11,000 or something, I think, towards it.
I can get you the
I
exact
can't
numbers, but
remember,
they
I thought
did,
it was 15 or something.
whatever it was, they
Cost.
paid over half of the thing.
Right.
We only had to
Right.
chip in.
But still,
some.
we asked about that.
But I'm
I
just
remember us
saying.
asking about a cement pad and they go, no.
No.
Now, all of a sudden, now that we do the job, now they want to put us.
Right. And, well, it would have been nice to have done it before it was just chip and seal.
Yeah. Heck yeah.
Uh, I haven't been up there. Is there any, do you see rutting or any, you guys seen anything?
Well, they're starting to, those front tires, narrow like they are,
Divots.
if they were like a bigger wide flotation type tire, floater, it would make a big difference. But them narrow tires, and they come barreling up to them and then start braking and stopping and picking those up.
Is it tore up now though?
It's not tore up, but you can see where it's starting to
Well,
make the
I mean-
wheel indentions in it.
yeah, if they're gonna pay for it,
I think,
Oh,
I think you let them
yeah.
do the study and write the grant and see what lands.
We just gotta, well, at this point, we gotta wait and see where they're gonna, it sounds like,
That area is at least, 100 feet by 100 feet?
oh, I figured it. I mean, you're gonna need it. Yeah, if you're gonna do the work for a cement pad, it
Yeah.
might as well be big enough for a
We'd like
turn.
Yeah.
Tires
twist and
surrounding.
turn on
the
it.
fire department.
If they're thinking 10 foot or something just for the front tires, that's foolish.
That's foolish. They need to have it come out far enough that the whole truck is sitting on that cement pad when they pick that container up.
So, well,
Do we need to say anything to them?
I don't think so.
All right.
If you have,
Concerns, or do we need to say,
I'll reach out to the guy since I talked to him last year and just tell him what our concerns are. That we're concerned, we wanna know size.
okay,
because they're turning around there. So
Right.
it's not like they can pull through.
Right. All right. I'll reach out to him.
okay.
Anything else on fire?
I was gonna bring something up here. I know we got it down under new business, but I had ProTech out here to look at our security here, and then we went up to the fire station to see about updating that to the new dispatching or possible new dispatching. And they did give us a price on the fire station to do that. And then it would be a monthly monitoring. But up there, the system that's up there, they can convert it over and make it monitor to them. Right now, we're limited on anything we can do other than we have to pick somebody to monitor it. If God forbid you guys are out on a call or something, that the smoke, I know you don't arm the system up when you leave, but there's smoke and heat sensors in that building.
Correct.
And you need to have something
Yeah.
there to go. They gave me an initial quote, and like I said, I had it down under new business, but I thought mention it now. But the quote looks like to upgrade the system that it will dispatch and have a monitoring, a cellular backup, and this will be very similar to what they quote here. Would be $54.95 a month for monitoring. And the system to upgrade is $950. So you're looking at $1,004.95. That would get the fire station dispatching. And then we can also put whoever needs to be called first, however that is, it can be done to multiple people.
What'd you say the monthly fee was?
What's that?
What'd you say the monthly fee was?
$54.95.
$54.95?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what your monthly fee, and that's going to be very similar when I talk about it when we get to the
Yeah.
roads.
What's the upgrade for it?
Is to put all the equipment in
Yeah.
that it'll communicate both cellular and on phone line on Spectrum.
It's $1,004.95?
Yeah, that's the total.
Okay.
But that gets it.
Who monitors it now?
We was paying,
Well, it was some con.
Yeah.
Okay.
You remember, we don't have some.
were they charging us?
No. That was part of.
Why, how, was that what that console was?
No.
No,
No.
that was,
What?
some con monitored here at the township and there at the fire station as part of their service.
Yeah.
And because the systems they monitored and they were put in back almost, well, the fire station, I'm not sure exact years, but over 25 years, they could signal and tell what was going off, all these things that, you know, if it was heat sensor or here, they could tell what door, what window, whatever. That system is obsolete. You can't upgrade that anymore, other than the fire department can be, because they had a newer state of the art. He says, we can change this over to make it signal to say, is it smoke or heat?
And CENTCOM stopped when we changed dispatch, correct?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't want that let out.
All right.
So how does that fit into the budget?
It's going to have to fit in. You
I mean,
might
I
as well
think we
say
have
that
to do
54,
something.
the
Yeah.
54.95 a month will have to be figured here.
750 a year.
Yeah.
Are you getting a better quote if ProTech does both buildings?
Well, that's what he did give both buildings, and that's the quote for both buildings.
Oh, that's the
Because
quote.
your
Okay.
monitoring fee, he says it boils down to, one's 35 something a month. You know, it might be, there's a 35, almost $39 a month.
Okay.
And then your cellular device is 10 or 12. So
Yep.
the two together comes to 54.95 is what it comes to. Both
For
of
just
them.
the fire station.
Yeah, just at the fire station.
The only other thing I would say is through our dispatch now, is there anybody that might work with them? Or is this like a common one, or you don't know, or?
We asked, they won't. Starcom will not monitor our system. No,
That's
we asked.
that's the only reason I did it
Oh,
here.
okay, but they don't have a company that they,
No.
okay,
No, that's
We had a company here and they are defunct.
yeah.
right,
We
okay.
had a company that was monitoring it.
Right. I didn't know if they had somebody
They
that
don't.
apparently worked that might have a better, but all right, that's
Yeah.
fine. So we
I
got.
I did talk to ADT. They want 3-year contracts. They lease and purchase equipment. You're kind of strapped into them. Where ProTech, all their equipment, he gave me a PowerPoint that I can give to you all, and I did put it into our emails here that you can look at it, but he did a nice PowerPoint explaining what all their features are. But let's say, for example, you guys say, hey, I can find a cheaper monitoring service. If there is one out there, you can go to somebody else. You're not signed and locked into ProTech.
So when CENTCOM did it, did they use a phone line to call their system or did they have a cell phone?
Yes, that was the old phone line.
So why is ProTech asking for a cell phone?
What's that?
Why is ProTech asking for a cell phone?
Because the phone line, if it falters, this is your backup, the cell.
So they'll still use the phone line.
Yeah.
Because if the building catches on fire and burns the phone, you're not gonna have.
If you have a
one,
But most security systems use a line out. When you use a cell phone, it's when you don't have internet or a line in. That's when a cell phone's used.
And that's the other thing. These systems are upgradable that, let's say Amy, or even here at the township, you can give the apps to like 4 people up there. They can turn it on and off if they were going to turn on and off with your phone. You can monitor to know what's going off. Any of those people can get that same way here. Stu, myself, Rodney, you trustees, you can do the same thing here with your phone. You can monitor it. You can turn it on and off.
You
with
can
your
see
phone.
who's coming in the building and going out.
Well,
by their
that's-
code.
That's the step that you would have. You'll know who's turning it on and off at the fire station. There isn't a camera system.
Right.
But here at the township, I did ask him to get a camera. Not that it's priced on the initial, it's an add-on. If you wanted a camera at that door, say somebody comes to the door, rings the doorbell, you can actually answer that if you wanted to, or they can leave a message and you would physically see that person standing there.
Mhm.
And this system has that capability of doing all that. You don't need that advanced up at the fire station, but here you might want to look into that, or a camera, an outside camera.
Is this something we need to make a decision on tonight?
You can make the decision
I
for
think
fire.
that the fire we have to turn on.
Okay. I will tell you my personal opinion of ProTech because I work with them on a regular basis. The company is fine. Their technicians are awful. They're awful. I've had ProTech technicians come in and I've sent them out because they have no idea what they're doing.
He mentioned his.
We run the entire system at Paradise Church on ProTech, all the cameras, all the doors, all the access codes, all the fobs, and I'm in charge of all of it. The system's not bad, but if someone doesn't know how to run it, don't call them because they can't service it.
He did mention that the thing with all their techs, because I asked that question, and in his, if you read your emails on this, their email says that all their techs are like only 5 years, 3 years, 5 years.
Yeah, they struggle.
The old timers that would know familiar with the old systems, the 15 to 20-year-old, those guys either are retired or no longer with the companies, you know.
Right.
And these newer stuff, you're not gonna. It's hard to find guys that can work on the old stuff, but are familiar enough with the new stuff.
Right.
So yeah, we might run into.
So right
that.
now, if a fire breaks out in the fire department, the system does not call out
Right.
because Centec is no longer.
Right now.
Sorry. Okay.
And it's the same thing here.
I think if they have the quote and they can upgrade it, let's do it and get moving on it so we're not left without.
Well, didn't you say something about, we could move on from them once the update's done?
You can either one, the fire department, if we were able to find someone that can monitor cheaper once the system's up, yeah, you can go, somebody comes in at $40 a month and you want to switch, you could switch. You're not signed that you're on a contract, a 3-year contract.
But you're concerned about the initial
No,
installation?
I think the fee is fine. I know
No, I mean about getting it switched, the installation to get it
Yeah.
switched.
The installation of 950 up at the fire station is just going to make that system talk to ProTech.
Okay.
And then they would test the system and make sure those heat sensors and smoke detectors are working properly. Now, let's say they come back and say, well, your smoke detector isn't working. We don't know that right now. We hope everything's working
Right.
because we want it to signal. The same thing will happen here when we talk about it for the, this one here is more costly here because our system here is not like the fire station. Fire station was actually, I think it's 5 years newer than what the system is here. And this system is pretty, needs upgraded. The console and everything needs upgraded here. It's not like the fire station. Big difference in the two locations.
All right, we ready to make a move on this?
And if you make a move tonight, it won't probably happen for, he said, a month or so.
Do you want to do them both in one?
Well, we haven't heard about this building
You
yet.
want
What
to
the
do this
cost
one
is.
right now?
Yeah, let's, Trustee Varian moves to hire ProTech Security to transfer over the fire station to the new system, costing $1,004.95 and also paying $54.95 a month in monthly fees to service the system.
Trustee Griffith seconds.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
Opposed?
Thank you.
Well, let's do the township while we're on it.
You want to do the township one?
Let's get it.
All right, while you're on it. All right.
Because we're done with fire after this.
We good? Amy, we good with
Do you
fire?
have anything else?
No.
Okay, cool.
All right, so let's do
Okay, the township is a little bit different. The quote on the township, he left some options because I told him, I said, I'd like to know if the trustees would want something like to add on, because that was my first question. Is this system add on? Can you add on to this system? He said, yes, you can add on cameras, you can add on anything you want to this system because that's going to be upgradable. Right now, you can't do any add-ons and all that without very costly, but the initial system, the quote, like the outside siren isn't working, the inside sirens aren't working. There's a lot of things that need upgraded, and the whole panel itself, the keypads, the panels will be part of this upgrade. Is at $3,563.34, which that upgrades our system here. The monthly monitoring then is $54.95 a month. Now they got an optional maintenance agreement. I wouldn't recommend that, but that's $29.50 a month. We don't need that, I don't think, at this point, because if they put this in and upgrade it, I would think it would give us some years of life. They did have, if you wanted a video doorbell optional, $939 to add on to that. They do charge an additional $9 per month for fee, but a question I asked, what about if you put additional cameras? Say we wanted to watch our gas pumps or something around back. He said that $9 fee don't matter if you have 1 camera or 10 cameras, it's still the same fee. That's the one that's that's more costly.
So 3,563.34 gets us back to where we were. We're running the way we were.
Yes. And that puts in a new system, new keypads.
Yep.
New everything in here. Now, I asked a question, are you running new wires to every port? He said, no, we will utilize your units that are on the doors, like the doors. He said, they're all in working order and those can be replaced. I said, well, you aren't going to put all them in new. He said, no, we're not planning on your panel costs and the dispatch, all the things that are going to be in that new panel are part of that. They're going to utilize the wiring that's there. He said, there's nothing really wrong with it. You can just hook into it. And then it'll say what door, what garage door, what smoke detector, what heat sensor here. They can program it all to work in the new system.
Where are you planning on paying for this from?
This would be out of either the general fund. I would plan on out of the general fund.
Probably
Because
out of the money that we had from the electrical aggregation.
the electric aggregation hasn't been touched. You have $60,000 in the capital fund sitting there. I do not have any big chunks of money that would cover this sitting there for what's called like improvements and all. We've used them throughout the years on little things here or there out of the general fund. I usually have 1,500 to 2,000 in those funds, and that money has been throughout the year, 500 here, 300 there on different things that are in need of repair here throughout the year.
But could we use the electrical aggregation
You
money?
definitely can use it.
Yeah, I
That's a
mean, that's what
capital
that's meant
improvement.
for, is to do something that's
Yes,
for the.
it's a capital
Yeah, it's capital
improvement.
improvement.
It's a and you could, and I'm not taking away anything from the fire, but you could use that for the fire too. You could do both these as a capital improvement to your facilities. You wouldn't have
I
to.
think we should do them both.
Yeah, we could do all of it out of there. I'd be fine with
Your
that.
monthlies though will become part of like a phone bill, electric
Right.
bill. That will go into the normal
Yeah,
cost of
Correct.
for
monitoring.
upgrading both.
But I think the upgrade to both should come out of.
Are
that
you
money.
okay hanging on with the Ring doorbell? Wait for that?
Yes, I'm okay with that. That I
would
asked
say
these,
that,
Mike Cliff, being you're familiar with Protect, I would ask these things because of security.
yeah. So we have a doorbell that we use, but I think a Ring doorbell you can buy on the internet just as good, and there's no service.
Yeah.
There's no monthly service. So I mean, probably should look at that. I mean, if they want to add cameras all over, that's different. We have 16 cameras in the church, and I have a
Yeah.
monitoring system for it.
Yeah.
I can see at home, and I can, all that.
The idea here, I know Stu, he can chime in on this, but where the gas pump area is, where we
Yeah.
keep all our equipment, our outside, I should say, supplies like piping and all. It'd always be nice to have something back there to
Sure.
keep an eye on things for us. You get guys on the weekend, 4-wheelers, you might have somebody come up here and park, you might have something going on goofy, that it would be nice to at least have something monitoring, maybe one in the front, one in the back or something to see what's going on up here.
Yeah.
You
You
don't
have to be recording it though. Does it
Well,
record?
that's part of it. It's all in the cloud. That's your
Yeah.
fee that you're paying.
Depends how big the computer you buy is. But we record over every 3 days.
Yeah.
So, but a week after we put ours in, we found somebody breaking into a car in the parking lot. We were able to turn it into Louisville. So I mean, it's nice to have.
We just had somebody over the weekend tear the parking lot up over here again.
Yeah. I think you upgrade and then look at cameras in the future.
Yeah.
I'm fine spending both upgrades out of that capital money if everybody else is okay with it.
Yeah, just make sure the upgrade allows for cameras in the future.
Yeah.
What they're
Trustee
putting in.
Pugh moves to upgrade Township Hall
I know.
3,563.34.
Yeah, I know on his original alarm
Trustee Griffith
takeover
seconds.
upgrades, all those questions I asked, and he answered that in these packets that are in your computers on there. All those questions have been answered because I wanted, that was the thing. I said, the trustees approve this. I don't want to come back, oh, we got to add on or we have to upgrade. He said, no, these are all can be put into the system. I said, okay.
Trustee
He
Griffith
moved.
seconds.
Trustee Griffith second.
All right.
Hero moved. Griffith second.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
Well, and I'm not sure that you can't get somebody like Phil. I know Phil Schwab installs them.
I did talk to him about that.
We could possibly, if we want to do a camera with a computer and a
Yes.
loop that we don't have a monthly monitor.
Yeah. Yes.
That just
He had
records.
talked about, him and I
Right.
talked about the Arlo
Phil
system.
will absolutely
That's
put that
why-
in for us because he quoted us.
Yeah, I know he
Church
does, but
too.
I'm saying they're probably gonna charge us more
Yep.
a month. if
Yep.
we-
Yeah.
We really don't.
I
do
have that system at my house, and you
Mm-hmm.
know, it's like the initial cost of it was $350, and I've been monitoring it for going into the 5th year, and it works great,
Yeah,
you know.
all right. Let's move to cemetery.
All right, bear with me, trustee, and have to jump ahead here and get this out. Ryan stopped in tonight, gave me a check for a balance of $600 that this Mr. Mayor, he had been making some installment things, and he wanted to get a lot and deed, and Ryan naturally waits till he received all the money. We received the last payment of $600, and he also gave me the deed for everyone to sign, the trustees to sign, so he can get them a copy to make it official. As far as cemeteries, I've already talked to Jim Beck and Ryan about, at the present time, the funds that are in the cemetery fund right now, after we did a paying in November, there's only $2,900 and some dollars in there. We do not have enough money right now to even think about mowing next year unless we have something else happen here, selling lots or some open and closing fees roll in. I know our prepays that are in total right now, since we started prepays at 26,500. Those prepays at the present time, we have 12,500. And if you notice, I should have that in that account. I do not have it in there because we had to dip into that to at least cover expenses when we had trees and stuff. Anticipating we normally collect about 15 grand a year. This year has been bad for collecting. Now you have years like that. The general fund has helped, not in the last 10, 12 years, but the general fund has helped sometimes when we have them shortfalls. But I know when I do the budget for next year for the cemetery, we have to really scrutinize what we're going to do for mowing and taking care of them, because we just don't have the funds there unless we start robbing the general fund to take care of the cemeteries. And I don't think we want to do that, because you start pulling money out of the general fund, it's going to hurt us in that area. So being levy was out there, people spoke. Now we have to deal with if we can't mow 12, 13 times a year, we might only have to mow 5 or 6 times based on money coming in. That's just the way it has to go. I mean, unless you trustees have any other ideas or things you want me to look into, but that's where we're at.
Nope, I say mow less. Mow less or up your open closing lot,
Yeah.
you know, I mean,
Right now,
do.
you know, other than the Reese Across America promotion going on, we usually get an outhouse, I should say a porta-john, I should say an outhouse, a porta-john delivered. I haven't done anything with that yet because Ryan and all of it, I think we determined that date was the 14th of December.
do we know if people use it?
We're the ones that are
Yes.
paying for it.
What's that?
We're the ones paying for it.
We got
We have in the
yes.
past.
It was it was like $210 to set it.
But
there
we
for the
feel like
weekend. And there was people using it.
Most people using it?
People used it.
Okay, I just want to make sure it doesn't sit there unused.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
there quite a while laying.
They
greens.
usually deliver on a Thursday or Friday and then pick it up on Monday
All right.
after the thing's over.
Well,
Do we need to move on that?
You can move on it. I think last year, I don't have it right in front of me, but the place that I got it from was 250 or something like that. I can give you more exact numbers once I recall to make sure no increases were.
Do you remember the vendor?
We can wait till the next meeting on the 9th, because I can make the move to at least call and get
Okay.
it set up.
Let's get a
and then I'll have
price and-
better locked in price.
Sounds good.
Okay. That's all I have in the cemetery.
Do we need to know anything about the burial at Mapleton?
Yeah, Wilda Groskopf was buried today at Mapleton. That was a prepay, so there wasn't any money
Okay,
talk, but that was done for prepaid today.
gotcha.
Road report.
Good evening, everybody. The trustees have read over the road report. Are there any questions you'd like to ask? Don't everybody speak at once.
I'll speak on your Friday there. It said check State Route 172 from Mud on Roadway. I got a phone call from a township resident that's upset, and this isn't his first phone call. He's been kind of talking about this for the past couple of years. The C&D waste management facility there on 172, just outside of the village. When trucks come and go, they bring a lot of dirt onto the road, and days like today, after it's been raining for 3 days, it's pretty pretty rough.
That's Stark, C&D, you're supposed to clean that road.
They're supposed to. And I think he's talked to a couple people. I told him that isn't our road to manage, but we would talk about it in this group. He sent me a video today, and
I came through there tonight, and it's almost like a wind route
yeah,
between your vehicle. I mean,
Between the wheels, yeah.
and I've received 3 calls on it.
Yeah.
Well, Stu's gotten 1 in the last 2 weeks.
So it's outside the village limits, but it's a state route.
it's a state route.
It's a
So
state
maybe we need to
route.
make a call to
Yeah,
the state.
that's right.
Yeah.
That's a state.
So when we get phone calls on this matter, should we be giving them a state phone number to call?
Yes.
And who's in charge of that there, Stu? Do you know?
I mean,
Well, there's a lot
I
of
think
different-
we should
there's a
give
lot
them
of
the number,
different
and we
people
should
who-
put a call in there.
Yeah, I think so.
The township will have a little more push.
Yeah.
but I'm saying maybe we should call Stark C&D first and say, hey, people are complaining, I'm gonna have to put the complaint through to the state unless you do something. Can you clean up the road? Maybe they'll say, okay, we'll go clean it up.
So this township trustee has been in communication. I believe he said health department, but he said he's been in contact with someone, and this is not his first complaint. And so he's to the point now of class action lawsuit. Like he's talked to enough people enough times.
Oh, so he's talked to other people?
Yes, this is really the first time he called the township, but that's kind of where he is. So.
I wonder what the health department, well, because they do monitor this, the
Yeah.
C&D.
So the gentleman that he said he spoke to, which I didn't catch his first and last name, but he said that he felt like he was in the right department, and they've asked them to clean it up in the past. So I don't think it hurts us to send a letter. I mean, we could send a letter that says, hey, we have complaints from our residents that the road is unfit.
Well, I think at one time, years ago, they had a brush truck out there and a water truck.
You're supposed to.
They used to do stuff.
Used
with
to
it.
clean it.
I-
Yeah.
So American Landfill does the same
Yeah.
on 44, but we could send a letter to them, Mary.
So I wanted to bring that up because I know we've all heard about it from different folks. So
Maybe you guys all should have the phone number in your phones in case you guys get calls, or you can give it to people.
is there a
There's the one,
state complaint?
There's a state road, Doug McElroy.
Okay.
Is that somebody you've talked to?
I've talked to so many different people, I don't remember who all I talked to, but that's one of the state road guys.
Okay.
There's Jim Miller, and he's over signs.
Okay. I assume they all have a role to play.
What's Doug over?
What?
What is his title?
It's the state roads,
Doug.
Doug McElroy.
Okay, well, give us a number.
What's his number?
330-786-2280.
Okay.
2280.
22.
Yes.
Doug. And this is state routes.
Doug, what's his last name?
McElroy.
Okay.
McElroy.
Okay. Yeah, I think, Barry, if you don't mind sending a letter, I think that would be probably the right thing to do before we start.
All right.
Okay,
You said you had something on the road.
that was it?
Oh, okay. Anything else, Stu?
No, not really.
Trustees, I will, not to say I'm jumping in on Stu, but I know him and I worked on something. We were looking at trash hauling. The reason I want to bring that up, Stu, so we get a formal approval of it. We just got some additional information today, so I had it here. Rodney and Stu had talked about, when they go around and pick up mattresses and all this stuff, it kind of stockpiles up there on the hill. Well, then they go down and make trips down to the landfill and haul it down there. Back in 2012, when I looked this, or not 2022 was the last time we did a haul like that. We took 4 loads down there with the smaller trucks, Stu informed me, but it was like $287. If we were to take those same loads down now, that might be $600 to $700. So the guys that thought, well, maybe we can get a roll-off rod up here. So I reached out to Waste Management, got into the government sector and got some prices, and these prices were ranging from, it was $307, and this is a discounted price for a township, to bring it here and set it, plus $37.57 a ton, not knowing how much tonnage you'd have there.
Yeah,
But you can just do the math. This could be $600-700.
sure.
Our guys would have to throw everything they got up on the hill into it.
How big's that roll off?
It's a 40-yarder. Well, Stu and Rodney, we have a local guy here that they contacted. It's right up there on 44. When you get off of Route 30, coming on 44.
Mhm.
What's that place? It's called Custom and Hauling.
Yeah.
Guy is super nice. Stu and him had a rapport. Rodney and these guys talked. For $200, he'll bring it here. He deals with Kimball.
Is it a 40-footer, a 40
He's a
yard?
40-yarder.
40
He'll bring it
yarder.
up, set it here, $200. It don't matter. He says, normally that's $600, but he said he'd help the township out.
It'll sit here until we want.
Well,
we fill it in a
couple days.
he brings it up, these guys will fill it, and then he picks it right up. It don't sit here forever.
Mhm.
Oh, you just want to bring it in whenever you got a pile.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah.
pile. I thought you wanted
At
to
the end of
have,
the
I thought
year,
you wanted
call
to
him
have it.
up, have him come down before winter hits.
It's just for the pile and then it leaves.
Yes, it
Yep.
leaves.
He doesn't want it here all year. He just
Yeah.
wants it-
We don't want it laying up there like that.
But those are the two prices.
And
And
he's the only, just 200, no price
Yeah.
per ton.
no, that's what, he came here personally today when I was in the
Okay. I
office.
thought you wanted to put it there and then you'd fill it, and then when it was full, you'd call
We,
it.
we thought about it, but
There's a lot more money involved. there.
yeah, there's more money leaving them sit there.
Normally he charges 600 for that 40-yarder.
And think about it, trustees, I know Stu has to get this stuff gathered up, but since 22, we haven't made a trip down to the landfill with anything. It's been
No.
stockpiled up
So you
there.
got a bunch up here now?
Yeah. We could fill that 40
We
yard
can
up
probably fill that 40-yarder.
right now. And
Just
then
stuff
we
that's too big to put in our regular dumpsters too.
You got couches,
Yeah.
We got
Too big.
couches,
Okay.
mattresses.
Dead
Well, I'm
mattresses, box
surprised that he's
springs.
only wanting 200. When he goes to Kimball's,
Oh,
all
wow.
furniture, you get charged extra for every piece of furniture.
Mhm.
He brought this things up. But
Yeah, I don't know how he makes
said
any money,
he
$200.
He said he would take care of it.
Okay.
And I said, that's the price because he had to put it in writing for us. That's your quote.
Okay.
200 versus a possible $600-700.
I make a motion, we accept that at 200 and bring the dumpster in and get the
Aye.
stuff out of here.
I'd like to second that.
All those in favor, aye?
Aye.
There you go.
All right. Is that it?
Move on.
Oh, the 550. I just talked to Mary a little bit ago for the meeting. They got the valve in today. Went to start to put it back together. It's not the right valve. So we might be putting it back together with the other valve that was in it from before until we can find out.
Oh, until we can get the part.
Most of
not
this
gettable.
stuff, everything that was built up there at ARM, when this truck was built, it just seems like it's all foreign stuff.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
And we're finding out it's hard now to find parts. we've been waiting, and, you know, Ronnie's been waiting since last week to get something back from Yoder's.
Well,
It ain't his fault, it just,
do what they can do.
yeah. Can't be sitting with the truck down, so might have to just put it back together for now and hope it doesn't hose up. And
Yep.
I mean, we haven't had any trouble with it, but it's just the thought of, you know, in the wintertime, you're out in a storm, you don't want the thing going down.
That'll get it figured out, one way or the other.
So
Sounds
I
good.
just wanted to let you know that.
All right.
Besides that, we're just going over trucks, changing oil and, you know, checking everything out, making sure everything's ready to go.
All right. Thanks for the update.
And I haven't heard anything yet from Lead Hill, whether they've started on the truck or not. I might give them a call here tomorrow or next day.
All right.
I did mention trustees about Stu's talking about the truck and Amy's talking about the new ambulance earlier. The purchase orders that we have in place, this is the time of the year I get a little nervous about. I'd love to have these things all done for this year. If they are, they're not, but I talked to UAN and they gave me some options that I might need your help on if we need to extend into next year, if anything, billing and invoicing on these, so I don't have to close them out. I
Yeah,
can, under resolution, then reopen, or I can leave them, just carry over and take it off in next year's budget. So
Okay.
just to let you know, that's all coming in the next, if they don't happen before December 31st, I don't get invoices for all these things that, I am planning on holding that money into the next year,
Okay.
like it is status quo.
all right.
All right, let's move on to zoning.
Since last meeting, had 2 fees come in. The first one there is for home occupation, just an annual renewal inspection of it. That's over on Georgetown for gunsmithing shop. There were no issues with it, so that's all taken care of. The second one is for variance. Again, he's looking to have another year. He's in a better situation and he's moving forward with the house. He's got driveway and the house number now, and the septic, I believe, was approved through EPA and everything too.
Okay.
This is one on the old junkyard.
Mm-hmm.
So you got a septic approved. It's kind of a big deal with that on that lot.
Mhm.
That lot's been a problem for years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right.
It sounded as long as everything works, septic would be in there.
That's good. That's good news.
Just moving forward.
Mm-hmm.
Over on the nuisance side, not a whole lot of change. The Sunlight property with the stuff everywhere. Talked to prosecutor's office about it. They got back to us with some definitions, and with what's there and their definitions, we can't really do much.
Okay.
But that applies to the 15th Street too? That definition from the prosecutor? I'm wondering if you don't print what the prosecutor, does it specifically reference sunlight in that?
I don't believe so.
I didn't think it did. So we could take that same definition, forward it to the complainant on 15th Street and say, this is
This who governs us.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and this is what we could do.
Yeah, it's probably a good idea.
Yeah, so let's do that to that one on 15th Street too. I send that letter then. I wonder if you shouldn't send that registered mail
Okay,
so that he knows, we know that he got it.
okay. Like I said, otherwise there's not much change. The BZA will be having that hearing for the variance beginning of next year. Because that's when this previous one would be up.
All right. That all?
That's all I got.
Thank you. Old Township business, Brenda on the park.
So, didn't get a response back from the attorney that I was trying to get in touch with, and then talked with Brian, and he recommended we try the prosecutor's office first. So I used the girl, the attorney that
Jessica.
Jessica that Mary was using, sent her a phone call and she got back to me and yes, because she's civil division, she can do it. And so I already sent her everything she needs to draw up that lease.
Correct.
And so once that lease is drawn up, hopefully she has it back here before our last meeting of the year. Brian, do we need to approve that lease then?
I don't know if,
Because it's gonna go to Huntington, they're gonna sign it.
yeah, I would say it'd be nice to have when the time comes, when you have it, the board approve it,
Okay.
that to submit it to the
Yeah.
Sioux Coast, because we're actually asking in that lease to utilize that property
Correct.
for the use for our grant.
I think if Huntington signs it and agrees, because we're asking them, then we would accept it as,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to formally
Yeah.
go into the lease agreement.
yeah.
Yeah, okay,
So we're gonna get it from the prosecutor and we won't have to pay for that then.
that's great. That's good news.
Yep.
And it's coming from an office that's got clout enough that we can say it was written by. We don't
Correct.
have to worry about doing it ourselves.
Yeah, they'll put that.
Yeah, that's great.
All right, that sounds good. All right, new business, we already did the security, Otarma, Board of Elections.
Yeah, trustees, I just received the ATARMA, you know how I think it's every 2 years, you go through the board. I think it was last year, the year before, we did, Joyce Martin was on that board for ATARMA. I don't remember if I got these emailed out or not to you, but they have 4 members that are eligible. 2 of them are already in position, then there's 2 new ones. I'm just gonna hand this to Trustee Piro. What you usually do, you trustees talk about them and you cast your votes and then I fill it in. It's not like each one of you vote, it's you vote together to who you might want to be on that board. There's 2 openings. You got 4 people to choose from.
Is Joyce still, is she listed there again?
Now, we got Scott Hawes,
Yeah.
Plain Township, Ronald Lumbreezer, Royalton Township, Fulton County, Amy Richards, Grafton Township, Lorraine County, Nick Shaw, Riley Township, Butler County.
We know Scott from playing.
Two of those people that, I think we all know Scott,
Yeah.
but 2 of those people were already on the board and are asking for, to be on there again. One guy's been there 40 some years as a trustee. You read their bios, all of them are good people.
Stu, do you know Scott from playing?
I know Scott very well.
Yeah.
One of mine's for Scott. After that, I don't know any of the other 3.
I'd be fine voting for
Just
Scott.
make one vote. We don't have to do 2.
Yeah. It's usually you 3 talk about it, whether you don't have to do it tonight, you can wait till the next meeting. and
No,
read
just
it.
do it.
I'd say it's good.
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah, get it out of the way.
Just make the one vote.
You can vote for just the one if you just want to vote for one.
You want a motion?
You want a motion or we just?
Trustee Piro moves to vote for Scott Hawes, Plain Township, and Stark County for the Otarma Board of Directors for term 2025 to 2029.
Trustee Barry in second.
All
Do
right.
we all need signatures on that, Brian, or just the president?
Township,
Let's see about submitted by Tom, member township. Let me double check.
Usually just the president, I think.
I usually think I just filled it out. Let me make sure.
All right.
No, I don't think so.
That one signs it, we just mark it and send it.
Yeah, once I
Okay.
sign it up, I'll put the resolution copy with it that I did.
Did you second that?
I did. I second that motion.
all those in favor, aye.
Aye.
All right, liquor permits renewal effective February 1st, 2025.
Yeah, I received a notice here, this is Dear Clerk, all class C and D retail permits to sell alcohol beverage in the political subdivision will expire on February 1st, 2025. In order to maintain permit privileges, each permit holder must file an online renewal application with the division. All they're wanting to do is if any of you three object to any of that, that has to do with the,
Do we even have anybody?
Do we
in-
have
the
any
quar-
liquor permits in the township?
The quarry is one of them
Okay.
that are in our township. And I don't know, it don't refer to any temporary ones on here. Just looks like,
I got no objection.
yeah.
Do you?
It's like if you want to object, this is your time to object to it. If you don't say anything, you don't have to do anything.
I say we don't do anything.
Okay.
Well, if it's, even if we said no, I'd keep it that.
Right.
I'm not gonna change it.
All right. Does anybody have anything else before I do the executive session?
Nope.
Nope.
I use them.
Oh, yeah, please.
This will be no action when we go.
No action taken. So after we go in, everybody can leave. Trustee Bureau moves to go into executive session at 8.
Before you do that, can I make a motion
Yes.
to pay bills?
Yes.
I second to pay bills.
All those in favor, aye.
Aye.
So we got that. Okay, Bill.
Okay. Second.
Now give the time when you do this, Randy, or who?
8:30, 8:28.
All right.
And Trustee Bureau moves to go into executive session for matters to require to be kept confidential.
Trustee Varian, second.
Roll call.
Griffith, Varian,
Yes.
Yes.
Piro.
Yes.
All right.
Hey Amy, did Lydia and Ben find Reed for the tunnel?
Oh, yes.
Oh, did they?
Lydia
Good.
said, quote, I think Dad enjoyed it more than I did. I'm sure.
That was cute.